Welcome to Your Donut You Eat It, and this is why it sucks. I'm your host, Sean. So, from multiple news sites tonight, specifically, I'm talking about one I saw on Timcast, but I've seen it on Fox News. The U.S. military has been raided, and long story short, we were found lacking or poorly prepared in many categories. Specifically, the Air Force and the Navy somehow ranked as weak. The Marine Corps only ranked as effective or strongly effective. The Army ranked as degraded or weak. This is we're gearing up towards war, it looks like. Now, why is this? Well, there's a lot of reasons why the military is in the state it is. What you're seeing now is a lack of leadership in our ranks now. We have a lot of great soldiers. We don't have a lot of great leaders left in the Army or the armed services. Why? Because they started introducing these culture war issues and making this a priority versus being the most effective fighter you could be, so that we were a deterrent. Now, I've spoke about this before, but there's a video circulating about where it shows Russians talking about how Western soldiers in Ukraine are Satanists, and that the West is advocating for murdering or aborting kids and mutilating kids with sex transitions. So, they have kind of a very biased, based take on that. Yes, to a lot of people, that's a fair assessment. To me, I would say it's a little harsh, but yeah, we're headed that way. Look at our military commercials for service. The Marine Corps kind of inspires you. The Army one is about a woke agenda where the soldier has two moms and she's fighting for her country's diversity or inclusivity or whatever. This makes no sense to me. I'm all for equal rights. And if you can toe the line, meaning you can carry my fat ass up a flight of stairs, you can be whatever the hell you want as far as physicality. Okay? And the armed services, if they can do this, the SEAL stuff, do the training, pass it without having any physicality removed from those requirements, then more power to them. I will say that there are several studies that show women in combat casualty rates go higher. And it's not because of the females. It's because males, there was a point in time there was a lot of chivalry that men would actually fight and die to defend the last female there, even in their own squad or platoon. Now, that same showing or that same study found that women make excellent fighter pilots. Being moms or could be moms, their heart's slightly larger than a normal male, so they naturally pull G-forces a little better than men. That means that they can get blood to their extremities at higher speeds. They make better fighter jocks. Plus, women multitask. Ask a dad to do something. Ask a mom to do 4 things. See which one gets done first. Okay? I'm not being biased because I am male and I am a dad. The simple fact is, my work, my job, has made me a single task person. Because if I multitask, I don't dedicate enough bandwidth to get the task done to the need that I want. Or to the way I want to see it done. But if mom had to do that, the house would never get squared away. There wouldn't be dinner. The kids wouldn't have clean clothes. That job, and yes, that's a job on top of a job, gets nowhere near the press it needs to have. But I digress. United States military. We're in the state we're in right now because of this woke crap. We're also in that state because anyone that had any wherewithal, let's put it that way, got out once they mandated vaccines that weren't 100% proven. Or they got out when they started hearing about the stupid woke stuff being taught at trainings that they had to attend. They just retired. They quit. They gave up their dream. I've heard about this on several places, both in media and locally. I've heard about it in real life. That this stuff is happening, and you're seeing a lot of commissioned officers and non-commissioned officers saying, no, I'm done. I let them have their cake and let them eat it. I'm good. And they leave. In addition to that, after our withdrawal from Afghanistan, there are old school people like me who said, I don't want my sons or my daughter being drafted into a war that some other jackass started and doesn't know how to end. Because sure as shit, I don't want my kids having to deal with the repercussions of something like in Afghanistan. And it seems really, really bad right now that everybody keeps pressing for war in our Ukraine, that we're going to. And eventually we may. Depends on Americans' wherewithal and how much we actually believe in the NATO alliance. Me personally, I no longer believe we need to go to war to defend a damn thing because it's not our problem. He didn't invade our country. And as much as that's bull crap and it's appeasement to just give him a country and let him trounce over it, he's not going to be able to pacify Ukraine. And to be blunt, it's time the European Union got off their ass, started armoring up like they've been told to before, and start dealing with their own shit. And for all those people that think the American empire is over, nope. The American empire has only gotten stronger. We have a culture war issue right now. We're fighting with one another. The American dollar is getting stronger. That's because every currency in the world right now, except for the Russian one, is tied to ours, one way or another. And we're the only ones, us and the Mexicans, and a couple other countries, that have a population that can actually support an economy. Everyone else is in decline. Again, it sucks to see that the American military is in this state that it's in. But you also have to imagine, if you were a young man right now, and you've been demonized, especially if you're a white guy, or just in general a male, you've been demonized, you've been told you're everything else. Why would you want to go to the military and have them yell at you? And before you made a decision like that, wouldn't you talk to someone that's been in? And do you think the veterans nowadays have a very favorable idea of going into the military right now? Do you think that they're the ones that are going, you know what, you should sign on the dotted line and go defend your country, or go defend Ukraine right now? Because that's what they're doing. And I honestly think that we need to start getting really damn honest with today's youth and tell them, hey, all that leftist crap you're talking about, Slava Ukraine and all that crap, the more you push that, the more likely we're going to end up fighting a war that's going to end up drafting your dumb ass to go fight it. Because us old dudes that keep telling you no have been trying to keep you safe long enough. I guess if that's how you want to roll, bravo. I'm trying my damnedest to keep my kids the fuck away from all of that war crap. And pardon my French. All that crap when you start talking about the wars that we fought. I have a 21-year-old daughter, and she has never lived a time in her life where we were at peace. Even now, we're not at peace. We have operators in Africa. I don't know why, but they're there. They're in the South China Sea right now. We have people there because of the tensions with China. We have advisors in Ukraine, and we have volunteers in Ukraine. We're at war again. We've not been without a war. And I'm tired of seeing people pay billions of dollars for other people's war. All we're doing is funding blood and suffering. So yeah, I understand why the American military is in the state it's in. And I absolutely don't see how they're going to get themselves out of it without changing how our culture is fitting in right now. We have turned ourselves into blobs, myself included. We have checked out from any physicality in favor of video games or reading anything else, playing online. We've lost that human connection, and it's even starting to show up in the military. Like, share, subscribe, be great.